Art begins where tiny bit begins. Art is a line around your thoughts. Art is life. Today on Mr. Yong Xplore, we explore the creative world of art. Today I'll be discussing with the CEO of Black Passionate Art Gallery to shed more light and tell us more on his journey to becoming an artist. Sit back, don't touch that dial.
Explore with Mr. Yong. Explore with Mr. Yong.
On this episode of Mr. Yong Xplore, we had a chat with the CEO of Black Passionate Art Gallery in Benin City, Nigeria. He spoke extensively on art appreciation in Africa, its importance and significance of original art. I am joined by the CEO of Black Passionate Art Gallery here in Benin City, talking about creative art and what it means to humans. Hello, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, Mr. Young. It's a pleasure being here.
I'm so pleased. What I'm seeing, I'm fascinated. I'm
Yes.
blown away by what I'm seeing here. You are the CEO of Black Passionate Art Gallery here in
Yes.
Benin City.
Yes,
Why did you choose art, not medicine? You choose your hands to be doing something else.
Okay, well, some things come as a natural talent. And if I must be very frank with you, I didn't, as a child, think that I was going to end up as an artist. Okay, at the point that I could make decisions when I was in secondary school, I actually had planned to keep art as a hobby and pursue some other profession. I wanted to study economics and statistics, and then I wanted to do this and me. But my mind was to be able to grow myself to be like a serial entrepreneur. I wanted to always be an entrepreneur. Okay, but I didn't think that art could do that for me, so I didn't have a plan for art. But I had an uncle, Dr. Omado of Blessed Memory, who noticed that talent as a child. I was around 6, 7, and then I remember not just me but my siblings also. He would give us paper and pen and ask us to just draw anything. Sometimes I could keep references, sometimes I could draw from my mind, and I didn't know he kept all of those drawings that I did. When I eventually opened my gallery in 2012, 13, thereabout, I think it was when I had my wedding, 2009, my uncle brought me a parcel, a wedding gift. And by the time I opened it, there were a number of the drawings I made when I was very small.
At what age?
I made those drawings around 7, 8 years.
Wow, so
Yes.
at the age of 7,
Yes.
you already had the instinct there.
Yes, I already started drawing.
And you followed your passion too.
Yes, so like I said, my uncle was one of those that insisted and kept pushing me toward art. Otherwise, I wanted to do something else. And so when I wrote my first jam, I passed the jam, but I didn't make the cutoff for the course I wanted to study, so I had to go write jam again. But by the time I had certain strange conversations with people I didn't even know, all of the points I was to go and study hard. And I had to just accept it, and I'm grateful I did, because see where we went.
So if you're looking back at the journey so far, are there any regrets?
No regret whatsoever, because sometimes people want to talk about regret in terms of the struggles or the challenges you go through. Sometimes when you have a dream and it doesn't seem to just come true yet, but for me, it's a process. Any success that didn't come through a process is not worth it, and it's not really success. Okay, so for me, the things that anybody would have made reference to and call regret, no, for me, it's a process. I've been a long way coming. All right, yes, we've gone through different stages. We didn't just start today and got here today. So it's been a process that has matured us. I've learned a lot. I have improved a lot. What I did while I was in school is not what I'm doing today. I've expanded my horizon. As a matter of fact, while I was in school, I'm a sculptor. I majored in sculpture, and all the things I did about painting and graphics were things I did in my lower classes and I was compulsory. But today, I'm a graphic designer, and I make most all of the graphic work that you see me use. I do them. I'm into signage, I'm into a whole lot of stuff. All right, multimedia and all of that. And today I paint, and when you look at my paintings, you will not believe that it was not my major. All right, so I do a whole lot of things because over time I have evolved. Okay, so for me, I don't have any regrets, because even when there are low seasons, for instance, as a gallerist, I can go 6 months without making one sale. But for me, it is not a point to regret. So when I have those moments of lull, I fall back to my drawing board. Sometimes those are the times that I actually create some of the best works, what people call the best works that you see, or I am developing a new idea. So I use those times to improve on myself, improve on my marketing, improve on my clientele.
Yeah.
Just there's always something to achieve, even in the moments that you think that nothing is happening, something is happening. Yes.
I'd learned something from what you just said. Now, looking at art in Africa, because we're not just talking about Nigeria, art is a global thing. The level of appreciation here in Nigeria, is it something that you find very interesting with the way people have appreciated?
Not at all, I must tell you. And this is the reason why there are many great artists who have left the trade because of that challenge. Unfortunately, for us as Africans, we love to appreciate what is alien to us more than what is, our own. We are quick to jettison our heritage and embrace another man's culture. So that is a problem for us, and it's part of the bane of the low appreciation of art in Africa, in Nigeria, and even in Benin.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go around the world and you tell somebody I live in Benin or I come from Benin, the next line of conversation is going to be about art, about the bronzes, about the art heritage and the culture.
Yeah.
Benin has a heritage of art, and for me it is something we must celebrate. It is something that we need to study and understand. It's unfortunate that outsiders understand it and appreciate it more than us. I am not a Benin man, I've lived in Benin most of my life, and I have come to appreciate the art culture and heritage of the Benin. And so when I was going to start out, and I studied in Univen, I studied in art in Univen. When I was going to invest and start out a gallery, I could have gone anywhere. But I said, Benin has something that I need to tap into, that the world needs to see. So I started to visit. Within the period that we have been, I've had friends who have packed up their galleries and moved to Lagos or whatever, have been changed business. It's not been a rosy ride. But look at where we are today. If we had not stayed consistent, if we have not persevered, we would have lost a lot of opportunities. So that's why I said, even at the moment that you think things are not happening, you must be happening. You must be preparing for that time, because a break will come. If you give up in the trying time, you will miss the opportunity of your break. All right, so that's why, like the scriptures will say, that those that endure to the end. So it's about having a vision and knowing where you are going. And you must understand that no journey is ever going to go the way you planned it. So you must be willing to embrace the hard times, walk through them, and let it work for you instead of against you. All right, so art appreciation in Nigeria is very low, very, very poor. Sometimes you're trying to market, people sell some artwork, and they tell you, no, like in common parlance, they say, now we don't sell the phone. Then they get time to buy art.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I see some people make investment, build very posh hotels, excellent, beautiful hotels, and you're like, wow, this is a great place, and you expect that. Having spent that kind of money, your finishing has to be, worth it. It has to be top notch.
Yeah.
And so we go to talk with them and say, look, we can give you art. We can bring that. And sometimes I make offers that you don't need to pay me now. We can have an understanding. As a matter of fact, you can loan our work for a while. But you need this work to be on your wall. You need this work to be in the rooms or to be dotted somewhere around the hotel. That sometimes there are people who will come into your space because of the ambience. And ambience is not just about, your furniture and all of that. You need art. Apparently you are in Benin, come on now, people are looking for art. But unfortunately, many of them tell me, they are not interested. So they rather go to the street and buy us some very cheap stuff and put around their hotels. And they don't realize that it just totally brings down the quality of what they have, the investment they have made. They don't understand it. Some of them are struggling, but they don't know why they are struggling. And sometimes we talk with them, they don't. So we just let them be. They're good people who understand what we're saying, and they are collaborating with us, and they are working with us, and we are getting results.
Yeah, art actually changes. You look at something about the ambience.
Yes.
When you come into an environment, like I come in here, I can tell, I could feel this warmness.
Yes.
Just looking at this stuff we have on the wall.
Yes.
That thing, do you think that people have lost the understanding of art? People are not really aware.
People take it for granted. It's not about losing it, because you can only lose what you had. Okay, so but people don't know what they have. So for them, they don't realize that they have it. So it's not about losing, it's about not recognizing what they have. Okay, so that is the reason why the appreciation level is very low. But as people begin to, like you have just said, I walked into a hotel one day, we're trying to keep a few rooms for some guests, and I entered and I just, from the beginning, I just felt funny. It was a nice place, but I felt incomplete. Something is missing, and I looked around and I realized that all their walls were there. Nothing there, not even the funny stuff you pick up from the street. Not even, I'm not there. And I said to them, I said, who is the owner of this hotel? And so I said, can I have a phone? They said, no, you can't have it. This one is there. And I sat down with the guy to talk about it. I said, man, I have a salary. I can bring in some work so then we can discuss. He said, no, we're not really in for art. Because their fear is art is expensive. And art is supposed to be expensive. See, because original art is very difficult to come by. If you buy a piece of art from here, to this exhibition for instance, you will be the only person that has that artwork the whole world over. Do you expect that to be cheap? But then, even when we are talking about art, especially relatively, the works we sell are relatively. Okay, so the people think about it that because art is elitist, so they think about it's too expensive, you can't afford it. And because of that, they refuse to invest in it. And mind you, we understand that buying art is making a huge investment. It's like buying land. The value of art appreciates with time, just like land does. As an artist continues to build up himself, his value, what I would have showed, what I showed as a student, or when I just left school, even when I opened the gallery, is not what I sell right now. I go because I have grown. Yes. As long as I keep increasing my value and my capacity, it must show in the value of what I put out.
Look at that price, the price of art. You know that Leos Namvici, the famous Salvador Mundi art, that was worth about $400 million.
Yeah.
What's so special about that art? You're an artist with your artistic eye. What is special?
Okay, so let me tell you, the pricing for art is not just the work you're looking at. For instance, you look at this piece and it's in monochrome, and you want to look at it and feel that maybe this one that is with very vibrant colors should value more than that. But you'll be mistaken, because there are a number of things that inform the value of art. Number one is the intrinsic qualities. All right, let me start with that. The intrinsic qualities within every artwork. Every artwork you see, and I'm talking about original creativity, is coming from a history, coming from an origin. There's something about that work. If you look at this piece,
come close.
There's a story. There's a story here. And if people you never had an idea, you don't know anything about them, suddenly from a piece of artwork, you can learn so much about these people, about where they are coming from, where they are going to, what is it about them, and all of that. There's so much you can learn about the people just from a piece of artwork. So every artwork has a story to tell.
So what's the story of behind this?
Okay, so this piece of artwork now, according to the artist who made this, you can see that there is a scenery here. It's a riverine, location. You can see the huts. Now, this is telling you about how people survive, even in austere conditions.
Okay.
Are you getting me? And how people convert their environment to become their gold mine. So you don't have to be born with a silver spoon. You don't have to be in the best part of town. But where you are, there is gold underneath. There is always the God gave everybody what they require. So if you look around your environment, you can survive, you can thrive, you can excel wherever you are. So that is the story you are seeing here.
Behind it.
Yes, that's the story you are seeing. You see the way the huts are put together, but you can appreciate this, local, architecture. And if you look at the texturization and the effort the artists are put into, giving life to the forms and the images in the painting, you feel like you're a part of it. You can feel the life and the activities that are going on. You see a woman cooking, you see the animals moving around, you see the interaction between the fauna and the flora, you see the interaction between man, and his environment. It's beautiful. It's something you want to take home, and it keeps reminding you. Sometimes, art is also therapeutic. Sometimes you feel like losing it. Your brain is clogged with a lot of ideas and demands. You're stressed out. But when you sit beside an artwork and just keep looking at it, it just has a way of soothing, that stress, and just soothing your mind, just appreciating what an art is, what somebody has been able to generate from their mind. Because yes, there are many times that artists work from reference, but there are most of the time we work from what is going on in our minds, how we perceive our environment, how we perceive, topical issues. All right, and many times too, art is prophetic.
Wow.
All right, and so that's why art.
I've never heard that.
Yes,
art is prophetic.
No, art is very prophetic. Art is very spiritual.
Yeah, spiritual.
Yes, art is very spiritual, and going in that line, art can be very prophetic because you create something that nobody has ever seen before. That it can be many years, decades, and centuries before man began to fly. Leonardo da Vinci had started making sketches of flying objects. He was one of the very first set of human beings that began to think that one day man will fly in the air like birds. And he made drawings, very graphic, drawings for that matter, and his drawings were part of the things that were studied, by those who eventually, created aircraft, from the beginning to where we are today. Yes, so art can be very prophetic.
Art is life.
Art is life.
It's life.
Yes.
Part of my input. So now we've heard about art, we've talked about art, the appreciation level, and what can be done. Now, to the people watching that actually don't know about art, and eventually they want to venture into art, and they want to acquire these pieces,
yes,
and they want to have it as design in their houses.
Yes.
What is your message to them so that they can have a different? So I know people have a there's some people that actually have a different mindset about art. They feel very different about it. So what can you tell them to actually have that change of perception about art? Okay, so from a professional perspective.
Yes, truth is that art is life. You will feel very differently when you walk into a place and there is a piece of artwork than when you walk into a place and there is none at all. Okay, why? Because the art helps to give life and breath to the environment, and you can be in a place and you have a piece of artwork that talks about somewhere else. So it helps to, bring people together. It helps to, blend cultures, all right? And it also helps to broaden minds, perception, okay? Because like I said earlier, the more you learn about the different kind of people, the more your perception of the world and your humanity actually broadens. Okay, so for someone who doesn't understand art, this is what I always say to people, you will not understand what you don't know. So the first step to take is try to get close to art. All right? There are a few galleries around you, wherever it is that you stay or you live. Find out, are there galleries around you? Are there art studios around you? Hey, in an official visit, hang around artists, watch them work, ask them questions. Again, there are people who are very religious feel that art, especially sculpture, is fetish. Okay, so then I am a Christian, I am a pastor, and I am a sculptor. All right, so there are many things you don't understand. Art is the means of expression, and the fact that certain people took that gift or talent to produce people are producing robots today. Is that fetish? It's art. The vehicle that you drive, sometimes you see some vehicle drive by and like, wow. It's not just technology, it's also art. All right, the design, the presentation is all art. The interiors is all art. So you will find out that it depends on how you are thinking, the background, the eye with which you are looking at stuff. So that's why somebody sees one thing and say, now this is not. Someone else sees that thing and say, wow, this is beautiful, this is amazing. All right, so you need to change your mindset. But the only way that can happen is get closer. Don't be afraid. Don't just dismiss art. Get closer to art. And the more you understand something, it's like even in relationship, you could just hear or know somebody from a distance and just conclude about that person and just forget about that guy. So you suddenly, the more you get closer to the person, you realize that maybe it's a great guy. It's someone I like to make my friend. So that's how art is. Get close to art. Visit art galleries, visit art studios, talk to artists. It will change what you think or what you think you know or believe about art. And then for those who want to collect, art appeals to different people differently. So you need to ask yourself what appeals to you and look for that. Don't just buy anything anybody sells to you.
Yeah.
Buy what appeals to you. You will love it. Something that agrees with you, something that resonates with your kind of person or your kind of philosophy as an individual. Yeah. So those are the things that should guide your collection of art.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate
pleasure.
it's been fun talking to
My
you.
pleasure.
I know I'm still going to have you on the show.
Yes.
Talk about more. I love art.